Hey guys, I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are able to listen to me properly, as well as there's no problem with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Hello everyone. I hope that I'm live right now. If you guys are facing any issues with the audio or the video, please do let me know. Just speed up that fan. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Am I audible to everyone? Please let me know. The audio is clear. Okay, great. Amazing, guys. Amazing. Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was a bit late for today's session. There were some issues with the camera. So we're trying to figure that out. So now it is working. I don't know how long it will continue to work, but yeah, currently it's working. Okay, clear. Okay, great. Amazing. So in today's session, we are going to start off with React.js. Okay, we will first learn about React. Okay, so what is React? Why React is important? All these kind of questions we'll try to answer, and then we'll move on directly to JavaScript, like using JavaScript to create React-based applications. Okay, sir, is that much JavaScript enough for making Amazon clone? Yes, Arya. Otherwise, I would have taught you more. So some of the items we'll be learning while coding in JavaScript itself, because JavaScript is a very vast, any language, when you consider it, is a very vast language. So that is always the reason why I tell you guys that learn C++ and Java for CP and DSA, whereas for JavaScript, like if you are going into web development, a bit of JavaScript is more than sufficient to help you get started on with any of the technologies that you want to work. So development languages are a bit different from your traditional computer programming based languages. Okay, so you don't have to worry about it. Whatever new concepts that come up while coding, we will handle them directly right over there. Mostly the concepts that we have learned up till now, it will build upon that. So I don't think so like it would be any difficult for you. Okay. First, we'll be starting off with React today. Then we'll be having a small project that we'll be doing in the next 2 days. And then we'll be having our project at the end. So there will be a smaller project before doing React, as the Amazon clone, just to make sure that you guys are very comfortable with like or whatever we are going to do right now. And then we are going to start off with our Amazon clone. Okay. Okay, so okay, I just wanted to know when will the next internship start? As of now, SEM exams are going on, so we won't be able to join for the next month internship. Uh, Permisri Kumar, what you can do is you can register yourself right now. Okay, if you feel that you are not able to attend the classes as of this particular moment, you just have to put up a request to your mentor, the mentor who will be assigned to your particular class. You can directly approach me as well at any point of time, and we'll just shift you to the next batch. There's no issues with that. Some of our students have skipped like 6 months and then come back to us and said that, sir, we would like to continue with our batches. We are like, okay, no issues. We totally understand. So there's no issues with that. Okay. Usually we start off like we try to start off one batch every month if it's possible. But sometimes we have like one batch in like 3 months as well, or so on and so forth, because it is extremely important that the instructors who are coming to the classes, they are getting quality students that they are able to teach, because they have to submit a list of like potential hires to their own companies as well. For example, if you are being taught by a particular person from Microsoft, at the end of the batch, he will be submitting a list of students that he feels is knowledgeable enough right now to join Microsoft. And then you get your interview opportunities with Microsoft directly. So that is the process that we follow. So we try to get like good quality batches for our instructors at any point of time. Hence, we never have a fixed date of starting any batch. But yeah, we try to start a batch every month. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Okay. Vishnu, you can just go to. Okay, I'll just share it. Dude, like I am like one of the things that I don't like with Indian students are, especially Indian students. Like I've trained students from US, I've trained students from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, I've trained students from Africa, I've trained students from Spain. But one thing that I find very prevalent within Indian students is, I don't know, like it's the upbringing or something like that. They're very entitled. Like they want everything to be fed directly like in a silver spoon to their mouth, and that is not like, I feel that they haven't like lived enough to see the real world. This is not what is going to happen with you. You will have to work hard. So try doing that. Okay. Okay. What's the difference between React JS and React Native? I will be discussing that as well. So once you have learned React JS, that is used to make like websites that can work on any device. So your website actually works on any device. Now, okay, so website is not the only thing that you want your application to be developed in. If you are able to understand that, Zomato does not has only a website that it works or operates upon. It has an iOS app, it has a Android app, it has a Windows app, it has a let's say a app that can go on your iWatch, on your Google OS. So there are so many different applications that Zomato has to create and maintain at the end of the day. Now, if you're going by the traditional approach, then you will have to create an Android application for Android apps. The entire same application will have to create an Android in a very different language, have a very different team to cater to it. If you want to address to an iOS application, then you will have to have separate Swift-based developers who will be developing just the iOS-based application, and so on and so forth. So that is handled by your React Native. Okay, so React Native helps you build one application that can run on any type of OS, whether it be Android, whether it be your or iOS, whether it be Chrome OS, whether it be Google OS, whether it be Windows. So you don't have to maintain multiple teams, your React JS based team, because the language is the same, the libraries are the same. The only thing that adds up is your knowledge on how the interface actually works in Android, how the interface actually works in iOS. That's the only thing that you are building upon in your knowledge. The rest of the stuff is same. Okay, they are like React brothers. Exactly. Okay, we are just waiting for the numbers to hit 200, and then we'll start off with the class itself. Okay. Okay. 30th May, when will be the new batch starting? Like I said, we don't have a fixed date upon which the next batch will be starting. It will be based upon the number of students that are enrolling. So for example, if you are able to achieve a batch of 60 people in 10 days, then we will start a batch on the 15th day itself. So that is how we operate. So you can pre-book your seats. So for example, if you want to start off in the next batch, you can pre-book your seats right now. Just inform the instructor that I would like to join the next batch. We'll directly shift you to the next batch itself. There's no issue in that. Okay, internship season कब से start होने वाले हैं for off-campus placements? I think so. It has already begun right now for off-campus. Like it is going to end right now. That is my major thing. So off-campus placements will be ending right now, and they will be starting off again from like September or October. I'm so sorry. What's the main difference between React Native and Flutter? Flutter has been developed by Google as a replacement to just Android development using Kotlin, whereas React Native has been developed by Facebook. And it wasn't a replacement, it was already like React JS was one of the biggest libraries used for web development, so it just built upon it. React Native is much more in use than Flutter. The main issue with Flutter is the applications that you create in Flutter are too big to actually be to be able to use in a production based environment. Like if you are making the same thing in React Native, it will be like for 50 MB, whereas the same thing in Flutter would be of like 250 MB or 300 MB. So that is the main reason Flutter is exceptionally fast when it compared to like in prototyping stuff. Like if you want to just showcase something to someone, Flutter is amazing, but not in a production environment. In production environment, you have your React Native that goes upon. Okay. Okay. So let's start. Yeah, Arun, I will definitely try to message you. Like, I'm actually taking the bootcamp up. As soon as the bootcamp is over, I will see through all the messages on my WhatsApp number. Okay, so no issues. Let's start with our today's class. I don't think so any more person is going to join us today. Okay, so let's start off with React. Let me just clear everything from my screen. So I started watching Tokyo Revengers. Are you guys familiar with the same? Like, is someone an like anime fan right over here? I'm not able to find my pen. Okay, here it is. Do you guys watch anime, or like am I the only noob right, that is present right over here? Okay. So what are the animes that you guys usually watch? Like Naruto or maybe Dragon Ball Super? These are like some of the entry level, or maybe Attack of Titans, Baruto. Okay, next gen. One Piece, great. DBZ, DBS, Spy X Family Love, that's great. Bleach, I've never watched Bleach. Death Note, I need to watch Death Note, man. Like everybody was like, "Hey, dude, you are an anime fan and you have not watched Death Note up till now." I was like, "Hey, just give me some time. I'm just, I'm not getting enough time to watch it." Okay. Okay, so let's start with our today's class. React. Okay, first of all, React is a library. Okay, it's defined, like if somebody asks you what React is, the definition that you should be able to give to them is React is a JavaScript library that can use to build web based applications. Okay, this is a proper definition of React, but it's a lot harder to like just comprehend that. So for unofficial uses, okay, not for official, for unofficial understanding, you can think of React as a framework for web development. What do I mean by a framework? Okay, so a framework contains all the, okay, I'm so sorry. So what I'm saying right now is an unofficial, okay, an unofficial, let's say, definition of React. Okay, the official definition is it's a JavaScript library. An unofficial definition would be it provides you the tools. Okay, maybe a hammer, maybe a chisel, okay, maybe nails, maybe bolts, nuts. Okay, so all these different things, screws, are all these different tools that are there at any point of time to help you build any particular product. The same goes on for React as well. If you're building an application, a web-based application from scratch using just the traditional HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all these type of tools, it will take you a lot of time to do every single thing. For example, if you want to integrate an authentication page, okay, if you want to create an authentication page, it will take you years to like develop it from scratch. Okay, JavaScript provides you some tools that are necessary, that helps you build that entire thing in a much more easier manner. Just think about it in such a way. If ancient Indians, okay, of ancient Dubai people didn't had any tools, they just had like just mud and their hands, they would not be able to create Burj Khalifa. But right now, due to the tools and the advantage, the framework that you are able to have in the construction business, you guys are able to see monuments like Burj Khalifa, Statue of Liberty, Statue of Unity, all these different mega monolithic structures that you are able to see and experience, that are being able to create with such ease due to the existence of these tools. Similarly, React is a framework that helps you ease off some of the work that you can do. Now let us go back to so how many of you have used Airbnb? Are you guys familiar with Airbnb? Guys, are you guys familiar with Airbnb? Okay, so people are still at the animes session itself. Okay, no issues in that. So okay, so most of you are not familiar with Airbnb, no issues in that. So Airbnb is a great American startup. Okay, I really like this idea, where it's not necessary for you to go and live in a hotel. Okay, any person can rent out their apartment for a day for anyone else to live inside of that particular apartment. So in this particular way, you are not limiting yourself to just the hotels that are there or just the resorts that are there, but you can even live in like a secluded villa or in like Shimla or something like that. Like you can have that kind of like a private beach at Goa. You can just rent it out. So that particular like entire setup, they were able to create one of the biggest startups. They have recently entered India as well, and it is taking up a boom, especially in like big cities. Like if you are able to see, I wasn't familiar whether they have entered into India or not. Recently, I visited one of the Airbnb apartments, and it was an amazing experience. Some of which are really very like sad to like go, and it is like nowhere similar to the pictures. But yeah, it's a good concept, it's a great concept. So as you're able to see, so let's come back to the program itself. Is it able to see in this particular entire website? Are you guys able to see the website? Please let me know if there's any problem with anything. Just let me know. So you will be able to see these boxes. If I'm able to create a box right over here, let me just okay, I don't know how to take a screenshot in okay, I have no idea. Okay, so as you're able to see right over here, each of these boxes, okay, I can draw, like you can just divide the entire website in boxes itself. Okay, you can have like one box right over here, one box right over here, one box right over here. And these boxes, if you are just blurring your eyes a bit, like if you are making your eyes a little bit small and blurring your eyes, you won't be able to recognize the difference between these boxes. Each of these boxes contain some pictures that are there, okay, of the property. Each of these boxes contain a heart where you can like that particular property. Each of these boxes contain a name about where exactly this property is located. Is it new? Okay, if it's new, then it's new. If it has some rating, you have got the rating as well. Who has designed this particular like apartment? From when to when is it available, and the cost per night. Oh my god, it's 7 lakhs per night. Okay, but like it's there. Okay, so you are able to see that this entire setup is being repeated again and again and again all over the place. Every single block has the same layout. The only thing that is changing is the content inside of it. As you are able to see, only the content is being changed inside of it. Okay, so that is one of the characteristic of React. You just have to create one of these component one time, and the React will automatically take up data from the servers and populate the component with the pictures, the informations, and lay it out across your website. So this component based model is something that was introduced by React itself. Now if I'm going to, let's say, Instagram, okay, if I'm going to Instagram and so you will be able to see, first of all, when you're scrolling down, okay, you are scrolling down, it will reload the page at one particular point of time. Did you guys see that? It reloaded the page to load more reels. If I'm scrolling down to the bottom, if I try to scroll down to the bottom, it just reloads the that particular portion to present us with more number of posts and images that we can see. I'm so sorry for this. Okay, so the same goes on. So you didn't had to refresh your entire page, okay, to look at more posts. You just had to scroll down below this particular area on the right hand side, the navigation bar, nothing else changed. Only this particular component changed. This by this component I mean this particular component that I'm not able to highlight it. I don't know why. But Windows Shift S. Okay. So if I'm taking this particular website right over here, okay, so I'm able to get this right over here. I want the pen to act. Let's increase the size a bit. So this area itself got reloaded. This is one component that is there. There is another component that is the navigation bar. There's another component right over here. Okay, so if I want to load more posts when I'm scrolling down, only this component gets refreshed and nothing else. You don't have to refresh. So in the earlier versions of Instagram as well as Facebook, if you even got a message, okay, if you even got a message to check whether you have more messages or not, you would have to refresh the entire screen. Okay, you would have to refresh the entire windows to be able to see whether you have got a new message. With React, that process is a lot more easier. So what does React do is, React basically tells you that each of these components, so the big component is basically this entire navigation bar. The navigation bar has multiple components inside of it. So this is one component, this is another component right over here, this is another component right over here. Inside this, you are having different components that are present inside of that particular component as well. So this component, this particular component of message is able to directly communicate with the server to check whether there are any other messages or not. You don't have to refresh the entire page. So in the earlier versions of your websites, the entire page was basically communicating with the server. So for example, if you want to see how many likes are there, how many comments are there to your post, you will have to refresh the entire page to be able to see it. But right now you can just refresh this particular post. You can refresh this particular post right over here. By this particular component, I mean this component itself, you have to refresh to be able to see the number of likes. And sometimes if this is directly connected to the server using component lifecycle model, then it will automatically get updated. You will be able to see, okay, right now it's 64, right now it's 128, and so on and so forth. Just like your messages, as soon as any notification comes up, you're able to see that, okay, a notification has come up to right over there. This is because each component is able to communicate with the server directly, independently of what is happening around it. Okay, that is the basic like understanding that you need to develop about React. Okay, so first of all, you are able to create components very easily. Okay, you can fill it up with data very easily. Each of these components is a think of it, so any website, like I said, is made up of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We have already discussed this. Okay, but each component, think of each component that has a little bit of HTML, a little bit of CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript in one particular package. That is how you create components in React. Okay, so each component, for example, for this navigation bar, it will have its own HTML, its own CSS, its own JavaScript, its own connection to the servers. So that is how basically these components communicate with each other. Okay, the second thing that you need to understand is, let's go back to the drawing board, how a website basically functions. Okay, so for example, right over here, I have a particular website. Okay, so this is how the website looks like. Let's take up an example. There's some hierarchy right over here. It's an HTML element. This is a div element. This is a like body element. This is a paragraph element. This is a like a heading element. And then you are having a checkbox right over here. Okay, you are having a checkbox right over here. So what does React does is, so there is something called as React DOM. Okay, document object model. Okay, so there's something called as React DOM. What it does, it has an old DOM that is currently there. Okay, DOM is a like think of it as a DOM tree. Okay, your entire hierarchy of your entire HTML is laid out in the format of a tree itself, and then it has a new DOM. Okay, so there is an old DOM and a virtual DOM. This is called as a virtual DOM. Okay, so every time, if for example you are checking this particular box up or you are unchecking this particular box up, so React DOM will then compare the versions, okay, with the older version. So for example, right over here, I've unchecked that particular box. Early on it was checked. Okay, I have unchecked this particular box. So React will then compare these two versions, the old and the new one, to check what are the different changes that are there inside of it. It will see that the only thing that has changed is this particular checkbox. So instead of reloading the entire page to show that change on the website, it will just take this particular change into consideration, okay, and create an old DOM and a new DOM again. Okay, and whatever changes are associated with this particular checkbox will only be affected, not the entire DOM tree. The DOM tree that remains the same, the React does not even looks at it. The only thing it looks for changes, basically it's like version control system, like GitHub itself. It looks just for the changes that are there in the DOM tree, and it automatically updates the website according to that. Okay, yeah, it's called as a virtual DOM. Okay, are you guys able to understand up till here? Please let me know. We'll be keeping today's session a bit short because yesterday we took a lot of time for the session. Okay, so today's session will be a bit shorter, but I will try to like at least have the basic knowledge of React down to its bit to you, so that from tomorrow we are able to start with the coding. As well as I will be providing you a link as well, which will be using tomorrow for coding as well. I will be going through Code Sandbox, trying to make you understand the different features of Code Sandbox as well. Okay. Okay, great. So you guys are able to understand up till here. No issues till here. Am I right? Okay, great. So see, this is one of the reasons like React has a lot many number of technologies inside of it. Okay, what I'm giving to you right now is a pretty basic understanding about React. Okay, so that you are able to use this bootcamp to start your journey into web development at any point of time. If you're doing it yourself, that's great. If you're joining the training and internship program, that's also amazing. Okay, so this is just the basic knowledge so that you guys are like, it's not hard. I can do it. It's easy. It's easy to understand React. There's no problem. I can do it. Okay, that's the main concern with these boot camps. Okay, is React the only framework of JavaScript? No, Vijay. There are a lot many number of frameworks that are there. Okay, you are having your React, you are having your Angular, you are having your Vue, you are having your so there are like a lot many new. There are so many. So every single day you will be able to see a lot many number of frameworks that are coming up and running at any point of time. But see, you cannot learn anything. You cannot learn everything at the end of the day. You need to start somewhere. So React has the most backing behind it. So basically, who has developed React? So Facebook has developed React. So anything related Facebook is always developed in React itself, whether it be your WhatsApp, whether it be Instagram, whether it be LinkedIn, whether it be Facebook. Okay, so all these three platforms are developed in React. You are having your Netflix that's developed in React. You are having your Medium blogs. If you are reading Medium blogs, then you are having Medium as a website developed in React. Then you are having your Airbnb website that I showed you developed in React. Then give me some suggestions of websites, man. Like right now, I'm out of words right now. So a lot many number of websites are actually created in React. Many of the Windows applications are also created in React, where many of the Android and iOS based applications are created in React. So React has a lot of backing behind it, a lot of opportunities. If you know React, the other frameworks comes easier because see, think about it as experience itself for a particular person who has a lot of experience with iPhones. Even if a new iPhone is showing up, it will be very easy to adapt to that particular new iPhone at the end of the day. So that's the same thing with React as well. React is like the biggest framework that is available right now in the market. So if you are familiar with React and all its tools and technologies, then any new framework that's coming up and running in the market, like let's take up example as Next.js or Vue.js. If it's just coming up in the market, it has a fewer tools and technologies when compared to React, so it's easily adaptable for you. Okay, okay, okay. So what's the difference between React DOM and JS DOM? First of all, for React DOM, it looks like this: HTML div, then you are having body ph1. There is no virtual DOM concept of virtual DOM right over there. If anything changes, the entire website has to be refreshed to change. The entire DOM tree has to be refreshed to change, show that change on your website. So all these things make it a bit slower than compared to React DOM. The second thing is React DOM. This is just an example that I showed you right now. When we'll be coding, you will be able to see that these tags that you are writing right over here in React, these are actually components. Okay, so this will be like the header component. This will be like the navigation component. This will be like the body component, and so on and so forth. So these will be components instead of just HTML tags. So that's like two of the biggest differences between a real DOM and a virtual DOM. Okay, great. Anything else, guys? Okay, so there's one more particular question that I get a lot, many number of times about like Node.js. So actually think about Node.js as an environment. So JavaScript cannot exist beyond the browser. To be able to run JavaScript on your local computer, you need an environment for it to survive. And that environment itself is Node.js. क्या हो गया? कोई बात नहीं. Just give me 2 seconds, guys. I need to. Okay. No, please explain again. So, what are you not able to understand, Maya? How can we get to know about the file structure of React? I'm not able to understand your question. I also want to learn 3JS. It's going to be great. See, my basic suggestion would be first learn the basics. First learn how to build websites using React and other technologies. And then, yeah, of course, you can build upon that. Okay. So any prerequisites for React? No, but like if you have attended the sessions, that would be more than sufficient. We will be diving into everything again. Okay. Sir, I asked this question again and again. So what is your question? I'm not able to understand. Okay. So let's move on to the code itself. Have I updated it? No, I don't think so. I have updated. Let me just put it up right over here. I don't have it right over here as well. Share, copy, sandbox link. So I'm sharing a link right over here in the live chat. This is the link that we are going to use. This is the code sandbox that we are going to use right now. Is Sanity a good database to be used for React, or should I use any other? My suggestion would be go with MongoDB. Okay, for the starting, there are a lot many number of databases that you can use. Go with the basic one right now. Depending upon your particular use case, it may change, but most of the use cases will be satisfied by it itself. To run this JS code, Node.js is compulsory or not? If you're running this JS code in your own laptop locally inside a file, then yes, Node.js would be compulsory. Okay. So let's start off with, I've shared the code sandbox link. So the same link I'm going to, the same link I'm going to open up in my new incognito window as well. So just give me a second. Let me just enhance the screen. Paste the link right over here. Haan, Baba, you will also come on screen someday. Don't worry. Okay, so right over here, as you're able to see, this is the code sandbox that I've shared with you guys. Okay, this is the basic layout that we are going to use from tomorrow onwards. Okay, so what you can do is you can just use fork right over here to create your own like instance of this particular sandbox. Okay, so just click on this particular fork button right over here once you've opened up the file. Once you've clicked on fork, it will ask you to sign in with your GitHub or LinkedIn. Sorry, GitHub or Google. I will suggest to create a GitHub account right over here. Don't sign in with your Google account. Okay, right now I'm signing in my Google account because I don't want to waste any time. Okay, but try to sign in with your GitHub account itself. If you are able to do that, that would be exceptionally great for you as well. Okay. Okay. So, who is 3, sir? Who is 3? I have no idea. Could you guys let me know what are you talking about? 3JS, I think so. You have confused yourself. So basically, it's another library for JavaScript for using like 3D objects at the end of the day, interacting with 3D objects on your website. It makes the entire website very bulky, so practicality is very less in 3JS right now, but I hope along with the versions it improves drastically. Okay, so right over here, once you have forked it, please don't forget to fork it. Do not directly use this. Okay, it would be better if you are able to fork it for your future use as well. So the second thing is, as you are able to see, this is a React template that I've created. The environment is create React app. So if you're working locally, you will have to choose, like you have to use the create React app like in your terminal to set this entire thing up locally as well. Then you are having your public and your source files. So in your public file, you are having your index.html. I've already set up that index.html for you as well. Okay, you are having your styles.css also set up for you. So if you want, you can just remove this as well. There's no need in that. There's some problem with the index.html. I will address that later on. I guess no, it will totally work. There will be no issues. Then you are having your source file. This is your index.js. This is the place where we'll be writing our React code. Okay, this is the place where we'll be writing our React code. Package.json basically tells you what are the different packages of JavaScript that you have installed right now. If you don't have an account in GitHub, create it. It's a very important. If you are aiming to become a good developer, you should have a good GitHub account. My GitHub account is not that great. But one of the accounts, I will also share it with you. This is the account is of one of my seniors, and he was really very helpful to set the entire development team up right over here at DevTown. So I will definitely share that up with you as well. So right over here, you are able to see that there are a lot many number of dependencies. So React DOM are the dependencies of React that we have installed right over here. The TypeScript also we have installed, but we are not going to use TypeScript. Okay, so all these different type of things you will be able to see inside the package.json. Okay, you guys received the sandbox link, am I right? Should I send it again? I've sent it again as well. Okay, the sandbox link. Some people were saying where's the link, so that's why I send it to sandbox. Is sandbox safe? It's the safest. Okay, why? Because you are not doing anything locally. You're using a server form code sandbox, someone else's computer on which you are actually writing your code. So basically your browser is just an interface. You're just using the only resources of your laptop is going into the browser itself. There's nothing that you're installing locally. It's on someone else's computer. So you are always totally fine with it. And Code Sandbox has made it pretty like I'm very amazed with Code Sandbox. Like I'm trying to develop something similar for DevTown as well. We have already developed some of the portions. We are trying to develop it a little bit more to make it a bit more like usable at the end of the day. Okay, so yeah, I've already put up the link in the chat. Like, should I pin this up? Okay, I just clicked on it. Pin message. Okay, I think so now it should be visible to everyone. I've pinned the message up. Is it visible to everyone? Please let me know. Don't worry, today's session is going to be very small. This is all that I'm going to tell you in today's session. Tomorrow we are going to start off with the coding directly for React, and we'll be working upon a I'm so sorry. We'll be working upon a very small project in the starting, just so to make sure that you guys are able to create your own components. You are able to design your own components. You are able to like put up the right type of coloring and everything, so the entire like styling portion of a particular component. So all these different things we'll be looking at tomorrow. All these three things will be making a small project tomorrow. Okay, so guys, please be ready. Everybody should have their code sandbox set up. I provided you the links as well. Okay, so please try to do this. Yeah, so will it take more than 8 days? Do you guys have any problem if it like goes beyond like 8 days, like even if it goes for 9 days as well? Like I don't think so. I think so it should take up 8 days itself, but I want to finish it up properly. Like I want to make sure that all the concepts are clear with you guys. I'm not, so yesterday I came to realize that I had taken 1.5 hours of classes yesterday. So I want to make sure that the project is also done in such a way that you guys are actually able to learn something from the project as well. Because every time we'll be doing something, just for example, tomorrow we'll be working on a project, we'll be learning a lot more as well. We'll be learning about JSX, we'll be learning about Babel. So all these different concepts will be coming up, which will be building upon your knowledge that you have gained for JavaScript. Okay, so I've missed out on like for loops, if and else, conditional statements. The reason is because you are never going to use it in a project right now. Maybe in the future you might be able to do it. Okay, so that is okay, no issues in that. So great. So we'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow, please, guys, be ready with your code sandbox. Those who haven't yet forked it, please, guys, please fork it. Make your own versions for the same. Okay. And tomorrow, the project that we'll be doing, I will be giving you an assignment. Whatever we'll be doing tomorrow in the class, I would like to see you guys do it yourself as well. And then on the next day, that is day after tomorrow, if possible, send me those link in the live chat and we'll look at some of the projects that you have done. Just change a bit of coloring, add more components, try to do something of your own as well. We'll look at some of the interesting stuff that you guys are been able to do. Will that be fine with everyone, guys? Please let me know. Will that be fine with everyone? Please let me know. Yeah, of course, you can, of course, upload the project on your GitHub account. That's the main target for these boot camps, to help you guys have the certificates, to help you guys have the projects and the knowledge so that you are able to, like, at least apply for some internships. Okay, amazing, guys. So I will, one more thing, please like the video, man. Like, you are almost 265 people right over here right now. So if possible, please do like the video. It really helps us a lot. Let me just show you the attendance link. And how many of you haven't registered for the upcoming session, that is the next bootcamp that we are having right now? I think so. The next bootcamp that we are having right now is on, let's see, full stack. Okay, I want to see the events. So have you guys started registering for the next bootcamp? So I'm studying in CSE first year. My question is this certificate going to help me in my campus interview? Kush, see, my basic aim for conducting these boot camps is to help you, guide you in a proper direction. If you have any thought in your mind that a certificate is going to help me get placed, I've done certifications that are worth like 1.5 to 2 lakhs as well. Each certificate, just the examination for that certificate, I had to pay that much amount of money. Okay, it was not a course, it was nothing, it was just an exam that I have to pay for that. If I'm not clearing that exam, every time I had to give another exam to clear it, I had to pay almost 25,000 more to just reappear for those examinations. That is the amount of money I had spent over one certificate. A certificate does not guarantee you placements. A certificate will only help the interviewer ask you the right questions. So if he is able to see, okay, a React based certificate is there, okay, it has been given to you by Google as well as by DevTown. Okay, so I will ask you questions related to React. If you are not able to answer that properly, that means that you have lied on your resume. This is a fake certificate that you have got, or you have just like arranged that certificate or something like that, and then that interview is over right over there. So that is the use of certificates basically. If you are having an internship certificate, a training certificate, then that basically states that yes, you were able to perform well in a corporate environment. Okay, you have these kind of knowledge if you have given it correctly. Again, they will ask you some questions to verify it. If they are able to verify it, then yes, you are directly in the ranks of it. Okay. Yes, of course, you can put the bootcamp projects on your resume as well. Sure, Vaibhav, I will definitely see to the questions that you have sent. Yeah, that's absolutely correct, Shreyansh. And that is the aim. Like, see, knowledge is important. What I understood throughout my college years is I never had someone who was like, for example, if there was a senior of mine who was working in Microsoft and he was able to guide me in the right direction at all times. Like, see, if you want to get into Microsoft, this is exactly what you have to do. Then it's easy. It's like 4 months, 5 months. That's more than sufficient to crack Microsoft. Don't have to spend like 3 years brooding over it. Okay, that was what I understood at that point of time, and that is why we started DevTown. If anybody, so at the end of the day, most people in colleges want to get placed in good companies, and we can do that for you guys. Of course, we cannot spoon feed it to you, but yes, we can show you the right path. We can guide you. We can show you the shortest path to reach right over there, but that is totally up to you how you would like to take it. Okay. Okay. Again, like some of you reached out to me yesterday as well. Some of you enrolled into the program as well. So right now, like for full stack, I am having 16 seats available as of this particular moment, and for data science, I'm having I guess 21 seats available as of this particular moment. As soon as those seats are filled up, or we hit 30th May itself, we'll be closing down with our registrations. Okay. Okay, so let's show you the attendance link right now. So guys, this is the attendance link for today's class. Okay. Okay, what are you eating right now? Eh? If you guys are getting a golden retriever, always remember, like, these guys can eat anything. Like they just like they will eat 1 kg of their food and they will eat your food as well. So if anybody is thinking about getting a pet, okay, just like think about it. But they are exceptionally cute as well. Like that's also a thing. So do you have a moderator for your live chat या खुद करते हो? So basically, like I don't have a moderator on anything, nor I do it myself. I have some friends. They have the account access. So whenever they are free, they just help me out with the same. So the entire DevTown was created in such a way. We are all friends. The 35 of us are all friends. We have known each other for a very long period of time. Everyone is in great companies, and of course I have to pay them as well. I don't have that option that okay, you have a friend, you do it for free for me. But yeah, they give some of their time to help the students out, help me moderate things as well, so that I'm able to take everything up. Yeah, Piyush is able to like vibe with me as of this particular. No, actually, I think so. She ate some of the mushrooms that I was having. Like, I created a sandwich, and I think so. She has eaten the entire sandwich itself. Dude, that was my only food for today. How can you do this to me? Okay. Okay. So, guys, do you have any questions for me right now? Again, for those who still want to approach me for the training and internship, you can definitely directly contact me on my number 7016416673. Okay, you can contact me on this number on WhatsApp. Do not call me. It's very difficult to pick up calls actually. Otherwise, I would have done it. Okay. But if you want to enroll in the program, just send me a message on WhatsApp and I will definitely help you guys out. Okay. Please like message me on WhatsApp. Do not call me. It becomes very difficult for picking up the calls. The link is actually working as you are able to see right over here. 87 responses are already there. So we are making the Amazon clone. Then will I be able to make another website clone? Arya, that's up to you. If you have understood everything and if you are trying to do it on your own. So for example, we will be coding the entire thing live on the bootcamp, but you will have to do it on your own as well to submit the project. So if you are able to understand everything conceptually, then it will be very easy for you to make another website clone, a basic website clone on your own. Okay. So can you tell me, do we have the students can pay the fees monthly wise as well? Yes, you can do that as well. So we have a monthly option. The charges for monthly option is I guess 7,000 because there's a processing fees that goes on in a monthly option that we are having. So it's like 1,000 you have to give for your like registration right now, and then you can continue paying the rest of the amount monthly. You don't have to pay the entire amount together. Or the second is 6,000, but you're paying it together for the entire program. So we understand the problem that the student is facing. That's why we have both the options available. On our website we don't show it because there's no option to show it, but yeah, we have the type of connections that we will be able to help you out with the same. Requirement for campus ambassador, you should be in college. That's the only requirements. How many questions per day in DSA must to be cracked to able minimum number of questions per day? Piyush, um never ask this question to anyone else. Never. As a friend, I'm telling you that it's not the number of questions that you are able to do. I will say that okay, 2,000 questions is more than sufficient to like complete DSA, but which 2,000 questions? Have you asked yourselves that? How many questions per day? It takes 3 days to complete one hard question. It takes 1 hour to complete a medium question. It takes 20 minutes to complete an easy question. Think about it as time. You need to give at least 2 hours per day to DSA and CP. 2 hours per day. Okay. Yeah, of course, you can reach to me on my like WhatsApp as well, and I will be able to help you out, MD. I think so. MD is Mohammed, if I'm not wrong. Can you please pin the attendance link? No, the attendance link will not be provided. So you should have one motivation session as well. Dude, I myself need a motivation session. Like, I won't be able to motivate you guys if I'm not motivated well enough. Okay. Okay, that's great, MD. Okay, so Muhammad. Bilal. Okay, that's great. 2 hours of CP and DSA each, or 2 hours of both? Are you eating? Nonsense person. She ate my wire, dude. Okay. So you guys need to understand that without DSA, you cannot do CP. Okay. CP is basically like working on questions itself, and DSA is also a sort of that. Okay. By CP, what I'm expecting you to do is like lunchtime and dinner time at Code Chef. Okay. For DSA, I'm thinking about like lead code. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Let's meet tomorrow. Susie has already eaten my wire, so I will have to deal with that as well. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.